Big up to everyone, lovely family and lovely friends out there, wherever you're watching Awini Unity platform from. Thank you so much, and we do really appreciate your time for always staying here with us at Awini Unity platform. And happy Saturday to you as well, whatever part you may be watching me from. Particular, if you're watching me from the continent of Africa, greeting to you right here at Awini Unity platform studio. This video, we have a lot to share with you right here, and this video is concerned about the World Cup qualifiers, the teams that qualify so far. We have 13 teams that qualify so far. I'm going to give you every details you need to know about all these 13 teams that qualify so far, and how many countries are going to represent the continent of Africa this time around World Cup, and also how many countries are going to represent the continent of Europe nation, and also the continent of Asia, the continent of South America. I'm going to give you every details you need to know about the World Cup and what year the World Cup actually was hosting, and what team or what country actually have the record in terms of World Cup trophy, World Cup qualification, and everything you need to know about the World Cup, particular 2026 next year World Cup. So if today is your first time you are watching this platform, and maybe probably you may not know what we normally talk about right here, I get to remind you very quick. This platform, we talk about only African football, African national teams, African club football, and African players all over the world. So please, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, do so, and let us grow together as a one family right here at our Unity platform. So a very quick one. Like I said, so far, 30 this next year World Cup expand is going to be 48 teams. Okay, 48 teams. It used to be 32 teams, and they expanded. They add 16 teams, so making 48 teams. So out of these 48 teams, we have 10 teams that already qualify, adding to the host nation teams that we have. So I'm going to be taking you through all of the teams that already qualify so far for you to know, and also give you a record about all these 13 teams we're going to talk about right here, and also Africa, you know. So now we're going to be starting from one of the host nation, Canada. Okay, you know, if you are a host nation, automatically you already qualify. If you play and whether you win, you top your group or not, it is automatically you already qualify. So Canada is one of the host nations. To remind you, next year World Cup going to be 3 countries that are going to host the World Cup 2026, and that is Canada, Mexico, and US. Okay, so Canada, this will be their second time Canada going to appear in this actually is their third time they're going to appear in the World Cup. Canada first World Cup was World Cup was 1986. Okay, 1986. That was their first World Cup, and also they appear in the 2022 World Cup, and now they are hosting. So Canada already qualify. Okay, now let's move to another country, is Mexico. Mexico already qualify, and Mexico appearance in the World Cup is 17 times. Okay, they have appeared in the World Cup 17 times. You can see it, 17 times Mexico. The first World Cup that hosted in 1930, Mexico was there in the year of 1930. So when you are talking about the Mexican football, it is not today. So just to let you know that. And also, back to Canada once again. Canada have 0 World Cup trophy. They have never even been to the semi-finals, talking about getting to finals or even quarter-finals. So Mexico as well, out of this 17, you can see it, out of this 17 appearance they make in the World Cup, their best run was quarter-finals. Okay, it was quarter-finals. Mexico, that is their best. So they also have 0 World Cup trophy, for you to know that. Now, Mr. Trump with his guys.
I don't want peace.
We will deport you back in your country. So, Mr. Trump with his boys, United States, appear in the World Cup. The World Cup appearance is 11. They have been 11 times in the World Cup. So, the World Cup, the first World Cup hosted in 1930 in Uruguay. I will give you much more details in that. The first World Cup was hosted in Uruguay, 1930. United States was there. And they never even been to semi-final, talking about to go to final. So these also have 0 World Cup trophy. Now, this is the countries that are going to be hosting, like I already told you. Now, let's move to the 10 teams that qualify, going to be adding this host nation 3 countries, making 13. Now, Japan already qualified, and Japan have been appear at the World Cup 7 times. And Japan first time at the World Cup was 19. You can see it on your screen. Okay, you can see it on your screen very well. Japan first time was 1998. That is the first time Japan been in the World Cup. Okay, their best is around 16 4 times. Okay, so let's move to the fifth country is New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand appeared at the World Cup second time, and their first time at the World Cup was 1982. That is New Zealand, 1982. They are always like this. Apparent is a group stage. They have never even been to round 16. Okay, talking about quarterfinals or semi-finals. So obviously 0 World Cup trophy. Now let's move. Is Iran. Trump say your fans is not coming to United States. It is not me saying no. It is Trump, Mr. Trump, aka I go deport you back in your country. So
Here is God.
Iran, their first time they appear in the World Cup was 1978, and they've been in the World Cup 6 times, and they always get out from the group stage. Out all these 6, they're always out of the group stage. That is Iran. Okay, and obviously they have 0 World Cup trophy. Now, from Iran, we are moving to Argentina. Argentina already qualified. Okay, Argentina already qualified, and Argentina have been appear at the World Cup 18 times. And the first time the World Cup was hosted in Uruguay, 1930, Argentina was there. Argentina have won the World Cup 3 times. Okay, Argentina won the World Cup 3 times, and I'm going to be giving you the year that they won their first World Cup, and the second World Cup, and the third World Cup as we goes on. So keep watching the video. We'll have much more interesting things to share with you, everything you need to know about the World Cup history and a lot of things right there. So you can see it on your screen. Argentina, 3 World Cup trophies, appearing in the World Cup 18 times. Very good one there. Now, from Argentina, we're moving to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan. Okay, Uzbekistan. This is their first time. This is their first time they are going to show on the World Cup. This is the first time ever. Okay, to let you know. So congratulations to Uzbekistan. A lot of people say that they don't have a lot of players. They have very good players, to be honest. Even they have player play in Manchester City. They have player play a lot of German Bundesliga. And when you look at their under 20, if they can able to translate their under 20 team to the senior team, the way they play, they can do something. And these kind of teams, when you are going to meet them, it's always difficult because you don't know much about their player who can cause you. So a lot of people shouldn't write them off when we get to the World Cup, in my opinion. So obviously, 0 World Cup. Now, moving from Uzbekistan, first debutant, we are moving to Korea Republic or South Korea. South Korea have been in the World Cup 11 times, and the first time they appeared in the World Cup was way back 1954. Okay, 1954. You can see that in your screen. And they are also a 0 World Cup trophy. 0 right there for you to know. Now let's move from South Korea. Then we are taking you to Jordan. Congratulations to Jordan as well. Jordan, this is their first time for them also qualifying for the World Cup. This is their first time ever. Okay, their first time ever they are going to appear in the World Cup. So obviously they also have 0 World Cup trophy. Congratulations to them for making it this time around. Okay, so now moving from Jordan, we are going to Australia. Australia also qualified for the World Cup. Congratulations to them as well. And Australia have appeared in the World Cup 7 times. And their first time in the World Cup was way back 1974. You can see it on your screen as well. 1974. Okay. And their best run was round 16 twice out of this 7 times. They've been in the round 16 twice. You can see it on your screen. Now, moving from Australia, we are moving to the giant of World Cup when we are talking about the World Cup. I feel like let's jump this for the meantime, then we come back to talk about this a little bit. Okay, they already qualify. Now, Ecuador already qualify. Ecuador qualify and they appeared in the World Cup for them is 4 times. And the first time they appeared in the World Cup was 2002. Okay, 2002. You can see that on your screen. Ecuador, 2002. And their best is round 16 only once. Okay, now let's come back and talk about Brazil before we move you to much more interesting things right here. Everything for you to know. Now, Brazil qualified for the World Cup. Brazil qualified for the World Cup. And in terms of the World Cup, Brazil have all the records. There is no country have the record that Brazil have when you talk about the World Cup. Now, the World Cup, since the World Cup was hosted 1930 in Uruguay, 22 times. Out of these 22, Brazil have managed to qualify every World Cup tournament. Brazil have never failed to qualify from the World Cup. They are always there. The World Cup started 1930 and Uruguay was the first country to host the World Cup. So Brazil always be, not just that record. Apart from Brazil, there is no any country in this planet have appeared in all the World Cup tournament apart from Brazil. Aside that record, Brazil is also the only country who won the World Cup trophy 5 times. You can see it on your screen right there. Okay, you can see it. You can see it on your screen right there. Brazil won the World Cup 5 times. Apart from Brazil, there is no any country in this world. Now, let's go back and share something with you. Like I said, the World Cup going to be 48 teams next year World Cup. Like I said, the World Cup used to be 32 and now they increase it 16 teams. So Asia going to have 8 teams, Africa going to have 9 teams, South America going to have 6 teams, Europe going to have 16 teams. Now, a lot of people always say, why Africa is a one of the biggest country in the whole continent, followed by Asia. Asia have 40 something countries. Now, let's go back. Let's start from Africa. Africa have 54 countries. 54 countries in Africa. And out of these 54 countries, Africa was given 9 teams. You may be wonder why Africa is so big like this. A lot of people always say the Europeans or football people, they are not being fair to Africa. That is not the case. The football rules when it comes to qualification always is about the way the teams that perform more. So as Africa, if you want to get more teams, when you go to the World Cup, you have to compete very well, go to the semi-finals, go to the finals, try to win it, and you're going to get much more than what you have. But African failed to do so. Could you imagine that the big continent of Africa that have 54 countries, we have 0 trophy. We have never even been to the finals. It was just last 3 years ago, and Morocco able to manage to get to 7 finals. Aside that 7 finals, no African team have ever even been to finals talking about winning. So big this country, we have 0 World Cup trophy, which we need to improve. I'm going to tell you South America, how many countries they have and how many trophy they won in the continent of South America. Now, like I said, Africa 9 teams. Out of these 9 teams, we still have 1 team that will be going to playoff. And if that team able to qualify from the playoff, meaning Africa going to have 10 teams. But teams that are going to be qualifying from Africa automatically is 9, to let you know that. Now, from there, I'm taking you to Asia, also have about 48 countries. 48 countries in Asia. They was also given 8 teams from Asia. Okay, 8 teams. And when you look at 48 countries, they also have never even been to finals talking about winning the World Cup trophy. So they are with 0 World Cup trophy with 48 countries in the continent of Asia. Now, let's move to Europe. The continent of Europe continent is only 44. 44 countries in the continent of Europe right here. Now, these 44 countries that Africa is bigger, Africa is big, let's say 10 countries different. Africa is 54, Europe is 44, so 10 countries different. Europe managed to win the World Cup, 12 World Cup trophies out of these 44. And out of these 44, it is 5 teams that won this 12th trophy. And you're going to see Germany that won the World Cup. Germany that won the World Cup 4 times. France, Spain, and Italy, and UK, England. We'll get into that. So they won 12 World Cup trophy. That is why they are given by 16 teams going to represent the continent. And they still have, I think, 1 or 2 teams going for the playoff. And if they're able to win on the playoff, meaning they're going to have almost about 17 or 18 teams at the World Cup next year. Now, let's go to South America. South America have only 12 countries, meaning Africa is bigger than South America more than even 3 times or 4 times, because Africa is 54 divided, but you see only 12 South American country. You have Argentina. I can run the names right now because they are not big. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, and Paraguay, and Uruguay, and also Venezuela. Out these get 12 countries, they are giving 6. And you know why they are giving 6 out of the 12? They are giving 6. You know why? This 12 country managed to win the World Cup. They have 10 World Cup trophy. Only 12 countries. They have 10 World Cup trophy. You can see it in your screen. Okay. They have 10 World Cup trophy, only 12 countries. So look at only 12 countries, they managed to win, they won the World Cup trophy 10 times. And Africa, 54, we have even never been to finals. So if we are always saying that world football people, they are not being fair to Africa, if you're able to even win the World Cup, Africa will increase from the 9 to even maybe 12 or 13. So it is your performance going to show how many numbers you're going to have at the World Cup. Now, let's look at this way. When you look at the World Cup dominated by only these countries, this continent. The World Cup dominated by only this. The World Cup dominated by only this continent, these two continents. Anytime we are going to play the World Cup, everyone know that at the end of the day, the World Cup going to be winning either South American team or European team. And when you look at all the World Cup, the 22 times now going to almost 2023, it is always South America or Europe. South America, Europe. South America, Europe. They are the one always winning the World Cup. So this time around, Africa, we need to change our mentality. We need to believe that yes, we can do it. We don't need to have mentality that we are going to play against Cristiano, we are going to play against Messi. These people, they are human beings. But the difference between these people and us, some of us, is the way they think and the way we think. Automatically, everything in this world are governed by what you think in your mind. If you believe that this, I can do it, and you believe in yourself, you can bring it into reality. But when we are going into the World Cup, how many African team is going to the World Cup going to say to themselves that we are going there to win? Our target is always say, well, if we will get there and we're able to get out from the group stage, we have done our best. And if we're able to get semi-finals or even quarterfinals, that is enough. Why it is enough? Meanwhile, we have players that are competing with all these players in the Champions League. Is it not that Senegal that gets beat England? But I can tell you, if England was playing a World Cup with Senegal, that is not going to be the same mentality. Senegal would have having different mentality going to that game, and they will be going to lose if it was World Cup qualified. So it is a time as Africans, players, management team, leadership, to just change our mentality that we can able to do it. We have the players that play for all top European league with these players. But the difference between the European, the South Americans with us is the way we think. And the way we think, when they meet you, they make their mindset to overcome you and let you think that yeah, you cannot do it. And even a small country from European country, when they are going to the World Cup, they have some certain belief that they can win the World Cup. But how many countries in Africa going to the World Cup to believe? It is a time for us to believe it. Now, when you look at the World Cup, okay, when you look at the World Cup right here, Brazil, I already tell you, Brazil won the World Cup 5 times. You can see it. Okay. Brazil won the World Cup 5 times. You can see it right there. Then Brazil's first World Cup was 1958 and 1962, 1970, 1994. Then their last World Cup they won Brazil was 2002, followed by Germany. Germany also won the World Cup 4 times, and their first World Cup was 1954, 1974, 1990, and 2014. Followed by Italy. Italy also won the World Cup 4 times. Their first World Cup was 1934, 1938, 1982, and 2006. Followed by Argentina. Argentina's first World Cup was 1978, 1986, and 2022. They are the defending champion right now. And followed by France. France won the World Cup. Their first time was 1998 and 2018 in Russia, followed by Uruguay. Uruguay did host and win for the first time. They host their tournament. They host the World Cup in their side. 1930 they did host and win 1930 and 1950, followed by Spain or England 1966, and followed by Spain also won once at 2010 in South Africa. You can see it right there. And when you look at the host nations, the World Cup host nations, the first time, like I said, the first time the World Cup was hosted in Uruguay, 1930, and followed by Ireland. Oh, this is I'm not really seeing this very well. Italy, I guess so. Italy, 1930. Okay, 1934. Followed by France, also hosts the tournament, the World Cup tournament, 1938. Brazil hosts it, 1950. Switzerland hosts it, 1954. Sweden hosts it, 1958. Chile hosts it, 1962. England also hosts and win. They also host it 1966. Mexico hosts it 1970. Germany hosts it 1974. Argentina hosts it 1978. Then Spain hosts it 1982. Mexico hosts it once again. 1984. Italy 1990, and also US 1994. France hosted twice, 1998, and Japan and Korea also hosted 2002. That is Japan and Korea 2002. Germany hosted twice, 2006, and South Africa 2010. Brazil also hosted twice, 2014, and Russia 2018, and Qatar 2022. And now we're going to be hosted US, Mexico, and Canada. That is how the World Cup is. So if you are always wondering, you see, the countries that dominate the World Cup, you can see them. The countries that dominate the World Cup, Argentina, Spain, and all these countries. There is no any continent apart from South America. You can see it on your screen. Okay. Brazil, England, Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Italy, all these countries is just these two continents, South America, Europe. So if we really want to get much more teams, it is not even just about much more teams. Before, South America, the continent of South America, was always given, I think, 4 to 5 teams. Was always given, I think, about 4 teams or something like that, if I get it right. And they managed, they never have 6 teams at the World Cup. And they managed to win the World Cup. They managed to have 10 World Cup trophy. So if Africa as well always given, I think, 4 or 5 teams before, then you cannot even win one. Then that is a long way to go. We have a lot of work to do, in my opinion. 12 countries that always given 5 or 4 teams, they managed to win the World Cup trophy 10 times. Now, this is the teams. I already give my prediction when it comes to African teams. So this video, I'm going to be giving you the European teams that I feel like they're going to qualify this time around. Okay, the European teams, I feel like they're going to qualify this time around. I'm going to be going with these teams. You can see. I'm going for Germany to qualify. That is my prediction. Switzerland to qualify. Denmark to qualify. France to qualify. Spain to qualify. Portugal to qualify. Netherlands to qualify. Austria to qualify. Italy to qualify. A lot of people that Italy, when they lost against Norway, a lot of people were saying that no, they will not qualify, but there's still a lot of matches to go. This is my prediction. This is not teams that qualify, and this is not coming from any FIFA or any football association website. This is coming from Awini Unity platform, just to remind you on that for my prediction. So Italy to qualify, Belgium to qualify, England to qualify, Croatia to qualify, Serbia to qualify, Turkey to qualify, Greece to qualify, and Norway to qualify. Let me know what you think. This is the teams I feel like they're going to qualify from Europe side. Let me know what you think right there, and let me know what you think I'm missing. So far, you know the teams that qualify for the World Cup so far, 13 countries. I said that for you already. You know that, and also you know how many countries going to representing, or how many teams are going to be at the World Cup. You already know that, 48, and you know the teams that are going to represent the continent of Africa. That is 9 teams, and also 1 team for playoff. But so far, let's say 9 teams that are given for Africa. You already know that, and also South America. You already know the teams that are going to qualify. They're going to have 6. So out of these 6, 3 already qualify. That you already know that Brazil qualify, and also Ecuador also qualify, Argentina qualify, then also Brazil also qualify from there. And you also know Asia teams that are going to represent it, they're going to have 8 teams right there. So this is the World Cup teams that qualify so far that I feel like you need to know. So let me know what you think, your opinion, and what teams do you think that is going to be making through from Africa. Let me know what you think right here, whatever part you may be watching me from. So thank you once again, and I do really appreciate your time. Happy Saturday to you once again, whatever part you may be watching, and stay blessed, and remember, always go away from trouble.